And welcome back to episode 5 as Italy. Quick thing I wanted to address, I just want to say thank you for a lot of the new support we've seen on the channel. Got the 50 subs, reached that milestone. I know it's small, but still very happy with it, and even passed 1,000 views on the first video of this series. So of course I'm going to continue it, and if you want to see more like it, make sure you subscribe, like the videos. It all helps with engagement. So yeah, but without anything else to say, let's go and get into today's episode. First thing I immediately want to do is reorganize our army a little bit. Let's move these guys off and deploy what troops we can, put them into that army. And I'd like to get a full stack of 24 width divisions in this army. We can put this guy in a separate army for now. So we'll just do that. And let's give these Ethiopian troops also a general. We'll give them this guy. Want to make sure our planes are also continuing to fill out the air wings and train. So we'll do that so that they have more air wings to fill into. Let's also go ahead and make some air groups, which a lot of people don't actually play with the system. And I think what you have to do is, where is it? Somewhere around here you can make a new air group. And sometimes I feel like people miss this because, there we go, it's right here. Sometimes I feel like people miss this because you can effectively use your air wings just fine without it, but I like to do this. So these are going to be our naval bombers, and we're going to give them the, well, maybe not that simple. Maybe we'll do the torpedoes. Call this the naval bomber group. And those are going to be in their own air wing. Let's take the fighters and make a new air group. And we'll do the fighter air group. And for these, we'll just do these birds. Actually, we'll do this one. Do the sparrows or something. I'm not sure what they are. These are our tactical bombers. Make another air group, and we'll do probably this one. Attack bomber group. And lastly, we'll take our close air support and make a new group. And for these, I like to use this. This symbol kind of looks like angel wings. And we're going to do the CAS air group. Alright, and we're going to do maybe yellow for that, so they all have different colors. Alright, that looks pretty good. And I don't know if you can actually deploy these into air groups. That'd be pretty useful if you could. Imagine that. That way they'd all go into their respective air groups. But I suppose what you could do is just make sure you split these up so that they have plenty of air groups to go into as they are made. So we'll do that. We'll do that. And we're also going to add more air bases here, since this is where we're keeping a lot of our planes. But the other thing we're going to do is we're going to start building some infrastructure up in Yugoslavia, guys, because we want to start lowering their autonomy as quickly as possible. So I say that, but we want to just kind of sporadically add these throughout what we are constructing. Then we're going to build mills here later on as well. And we're going to go ahead and let it on pause. See what we're missing here. Going to need to trade for some more iron, tungsten. We'll do that. Let's also make sure we're building a few convoys, because, and I'll explain this in a moment, you can easily get autonomy down by trading and lend-leasing convoys to your subject. Now, world tension is not high enough, and we're not at war, so we can't do it just yet, but when we can, we will do just that. Let's go ahead and get the concentrated industry. I also want to start thinking about putting our troops into front lines across these different borders and make sure we have supply in the regions. But first, let's get our full armies. So we can get 3 of these troops, put them in a separate army, and get our 5th army going. Let's stop training these for just a moment, and let's go and organize our army and make them a little bit more easy to tell apart. So this one will be yellow. Give them the shield. This one will stay this kind of blue. We'll make them like a lighter blue, and then we'll give them the spade. This one we will make a green and give them the diamond. This one can stay red, but we're going to give them this pentagon. Or no, that's a hexagon looking shape. And then we will give this one pink. No, I don't like that. We'll give them purple. That looks better. And then we'll give them the heart. A purple heart. So then we will also make the army green for this is our main Italian army. And we'll name it, because why not? We'll call it the Italian Army. Alright, looks pretty good. And we will add these two separate front lines as we see fit in a bit here. But I did want to come over here and see if we can't start also training up these submarines that are done. And we're going to want to move the destroyer there and the fish sub back to the reserves. Got a new operative here. Let's pick up this one that we got from Bulgaria. He seems pretty good. And let's start building an intel network on Germany, because I'd really like to start stealing blueprints if we can. Got the armor piercing shell. And with this slot, we could start working on some of this. Could also start doing some of this soon, perhaps. Well, let's get that new artillery. And speaking of artillery, it's also probably a good time to upgrade this 12-width infantry division into something a little bit more respectable, like an 18-width. Maybe pick up the anti-air. Much better, and gonna help us get closer to that 1 million that we need. Let's deploy those troops and put them into there. Also, let's get this army a general. We'll do... Who do we want? Let's see, someone who doesn't have harsh leader. We'll get this guy, Mario Bugatti. And we are missing a few trains as well that we would like to maybe start building as well if we can. Let's get these support weapons. We're very behind on the support weapon tech, so let's get that going and start working on the trains. Don't want to take off the planes actually. Let's instead... Well, first let's move some over to artillery. And we're kind of not doing this right. Let's see, we got the trains going here. And just see if we can't put at least one onto there, get that building. Gonna need more mills overall, if we can. Let's get the excavation too. And let's pick up the naval department tech as well for our spy agency. We should also move our spies off of here and maybe just put them in Germany as well. Maybe she can lower resistance in one of these regions, and she doesn't need to because we're good on that. So instead, let's just put them in Hanover. Really just start building that intel in Germany. I'd like to get some blueprint stealing going. They have more research slots than us, so, you know, maybe take advantage of that if we can. And we do have some political power and some command power, so let's go and pick up some of these. Let's get the infantry expert first. Then let's get the capital ships. And lastly, let's end off with the tactical bombing expert for that extra ground support. Got another trait for our escort fleet. Let's pick up the anti-air and light attack. Can increase this, which we will do with our political power. And we can get the advanced barrel forging for our infantry weapons manufacturer. Gonna need a lot of guns. So as you can see, all of these are decommissioned. So gonna want to only build one more of these and then make sure we're putting that into new ships as they finish. But just gotta leave the game run here and get through some of these focuses now. Lots of things to do, lots of things to do. So I think we're gonna want to get these security militias. I was thinking about this. We don't need the silent workhorse anymore. We have tons of political power. I would rather have this advisor here and get that factory and dockyard output. Maybe also the population recruitable pop factor you get from this. It's only 35 days, so let's go and do that. We're not going to increase this until we get more troops out of the field. We completed the German cipher. Let's start on Romania. Romania and Germany, and the Axis, which is just Germany at this point, is who we are going to be focused on in this campaign to begin with, until we eventually turn against the Allies. Can't get another one of these. Let's get the ground support, focusing really heavily on our CAS, or rather focusing on helping our troops be as dominant as they can be on the ground. Got the security militias. Let's come over here and pick up the... Well, I was thinking we could get the increased artillery production, which, I mean, that would really help. Now that we've especially upgraded and added all that artillery to our troops. But honestly, I want to get down to strengthen northern industry. Excuse me. Look at the bonuses you get here. 2 civs, 1 mill, a dockyard, all those building slots. You get those 2 civs and that extra iron there. And you get a synthetic refinery along the way. And it upgrades your northern industry down here. We're only going to get these 3, but let's just start working in that direction. Alright, we've got some more mills. Let's assign them to our planes. We'll do fighters and then CAS. And we'll assign 5 to these. Kind of do that ahead of time. I do want to check the autonomy of Yugoslavia. And it is going down. Slowly, but surely. Got the new artillery and a new trait. Let's go and upgrade. We'll pick up the breakthrough. And then we're going to go ahead and get... I'd like to get the advanced machine tools now. Make sure we stay up to date our industry, and I want to go ahead and upgrade that artillery. Start building the new. And we switch over our anti-air. Well, we lose a little bit of production efficiency from doing that, but so be it. Mistakes happen. I'm thinking if we would want to go on one of these, but then we would really be losing out on even more of our resources, and that doesn't really sound great. Let's get the blueprint stealing now. Go ahead, and we could infiltrate the civilian administration, and I think we are going to do that, except we're going to use her and him and keep him on growing that spy network. Trying to build more trains. Got some new dockyards, but actually we didn't. It's just one of these finished, and I think it was the destroyer. Let's come in here and see if we can't upgrade the hydrophone on that. It'll be there to mark it and put the dockyards back to the destroyer. Looks pretty good. And got this notification here. Let's get rid of that. Keep going here. Alright, so we're going to get some intel on them. We're going ahead with that operation. Got 2 new troops, put them into this army. And we need to make sure that this army is all assigned here. Let's get the new guns. Researching. We'll use the infantry weapons MIO. New trait. Let's get the mass production. And even more troops. Let's see if we can't just force deploy them. Let's see, we are getting to that 1 million if we fully deploy what we have so far. Let's get the 35-day focus for the synthetic refineries. Portugal wants to buy our ships. Another off-map civ, we will absolutely take that. Finish the blueprint stealing tech. Let's get the invisible ink. Help with that operation a bit. Construction 3 finished. Let's get the excavation 3 as well. Next techs we want to be thinking about are the tank techs, as well as potentially the support companies, which are going to be really important. The only thing is, I mean, yes, we could research this, but we don't even have improved engines, so we're kind of behind on that. But we need to get like a lot of these. I'd even like to get engineer 2 so we could get the flame tank companies building. So lots of things we need, but let's go and get the field hospitals first. Raise that up. And I completely forgot, let's switch over from the silent workhorse to the hierarch minister of corporations. That'll lower our authority, so we'll use those decisions to increase it again. I think we finished the heavy cruiser, and I think we will build another heavy cruiser. Let's add that radar, mark it as the 2B, and get that battle line shipbuilder and start building again. Alright, looking pretty good. Now, eventually with the world tension, we will get to a point that we're able to annex Yugoslavia by sending those Lend-Lease. It's just a matter of time. Let's get strength in northern industry. And we could get the fuel refining 3, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do, since we have no fuel right now. Alright, so sometimes it's just a matter of letting the game run. Let's go and check our navy while we leave it running. Let's take these 4 subs and put them in our training fleets. Check this MIO. This is for our naval bombers. Let's get the reliability increase on that, and we're going to want to immediately go ahead and upgrade that. What is this? That's the Atlantico class. Yeah, that's the Portuguese one that they give you when they purchase your ships. Let's also unselect some of these so we don't get notified of them. Alright, so we're building trains, but I'd like to see maybe a few more fighters. By the way, so Hungary demanded southern Slovakia just now. I don't know if they're going to get it, considering they're in our faction, not the Axis. And we can let it play here for a moment, but I don't think they're going to give it over. Yeah, and it doesn't look like they will. And there we go. That is the start of World War II, as Poland is being invaded. Look at that. They are falling over immediately. You can hear Neville Chamberlain talking as war with Germany has been declared. Let's go and take the region-wide industrial integration as well. I think that's going to be helpful for us, guys. Got strengthened northern industry, and can go ahead and deploy the rest of our troops. Let's move them into this army. Take the spare 3 and put them in to the garrison army for now. Have them train. Sorry, Neville, we're gonna switch off of that for the time being. But now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if we make sure that we send them an attaché, improve our relations, that's gonna also help us get some, you know, army XP. We can also see what they're doing. Pretty helpful. Let's get the Anglo-Pact, because they're already at war with Germany, so I don't need to worry about being drawn into the conflict just yet as well. Let's take these 2 ships and put them over here into our training fleet. We could get the Mountaineer tech, and by the way, I've had a lot of fun playing with Rangers in this, but we need that military experience for other things like upgrading our tanks, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get the artillery, engineers, logistics, and anti-air. We're going to save this slot. Actually, we're going to save 2 slots, one for maintenance companies and the other one for the flame tank companies. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to get the motorized artillery, add armored infantry, and see if we can't get motorized anti-air. That gives us 28 organization. That's pretty okay. Let's go and upgrade that. We're going to go ahead and start training some tanks as well, guys. Let's get 6 if we can, and we'll deploy them when they are available. Alright, we can also start building more. So let's get a few mills here building, but also make sure we're coming in here and building in Yugoslavia. We will build mills because when they become an integrated puppet, we're going to get access to some of those. So we'll do that as well and just kind of sprinkle it throughout. That looks pretty good. The field hospitals. Let's get the maintenance companies as well for our tanks. This is for the close air support designer. Let's get the ground attack plus 5%.
Si, signore.
Take this troop, put it in the Ethiopian army. Can't deploy any of those just yet, but let's make sure we upgrade our basic close air support as well. Okay, so we got the battleship finished, which is really nice. I don't think we're going to build another 1936 battleship. I think we're going to wait until we get the 1940s. And instead we're going to focus our production on good screens, because I do tend to notice that once you start to go to war with Britain especially, they absolutely blow through your old screens, and we need to make sure that we're going to have plenty of these to replenish those kind of losses. Now we're not going to be going up against Britain just yet, especially after we get this non-aggression pact, but it's something to consider most definitely. Alright, we can also assign these to go into our training fleet so that we don't have to keep doing that manually. Alright, that looks better. This will finish, and then we'll be able to reassign that. But we could actually go ahead and set up those dockyards to go into, not the Atlantica class, let's decommission that. Let's get the radars on this one, call it the 2B, and queue that up with those dockyards so it goes right into them. Alright, let's check our spy network. We did finish that. Let's set this guy to go quiet. Alright, let's get one of these other things going. How about we do some industrial blueprints? And let's see, who do I have on here? We have this guy, the Bulgarian one. Let's put this guy in, and this one. Oh, okay, well, I'd rather assign all three if that's going to give us the best chance. Okay. Now let's get... We finished advanced machine tools. And we have a bonus here. How about we get the improved small airframes now? Yeah, let's do that. Again, really want to start working on tank techs soon as well, though. These guys aren't doing anything, so we can just use them to also improve intel here, and maybe in Romania as well. Yeah, noticing they did not get southern Slovakia, so that's interesting. Poland capitulated eventually here. And this is a core state, I think, of Hungary. It's interesting, there's two Hungaries here. Oh, it's because it's a claim and a core state. Okay, so we got the Anglo-Italian Pact. And now that that's true, and we have the million manpower, we can go ahead and proclaim the Italian Empire. Italy and the United Kingdom have signed a non-aggression pact guaranteeing peace between the two nations. This will leave them free to focus elsewhere, but everyone wonders just how long this precarious pact will last. We are going to proclaim the Italian Empire, but with those guarantees in place in that non-aggression pact, we're going to want to immediately start focusing on Greece. And after that, I'd like to look into maybe Romania, and then Vichy, France. German Reich issues a diplomatic protest. We don't care about that. Now, it said we could lower the autonomy here of Yugoslavia. Oh, but we need a little more political power. Okay. Well, let's get that and do that, and this will integrate them. And it won't annex them just yet, but it will be the first step into doing so. And let's see how much factories we get from that. We get, we had 137, so that's 9 total mills, which, hey, that's pretty good. So we'll put them into our tanks, and the rest into our artillery. Let's upgrade our automotive manufacturer. Let's just get the reliability. Yes, that'll take more resources, but reliability is really nice. Because remember, when you're making your tank divisions, it doesn't just account for the reliability of the tanks. It also accounts for the reliability overall of not just your tanks, but your your trucks or motorized if you're using those. So taking all that into account, you want high reliability on other things. Another way you can cheat this, I say cheat, but more so just being smart with your resources, is once you get flame tanks, you can not only put high reliability on those to affect the total, but you can also put fuel drums to stockpile fuel for those divisions and increase their capacity. So those are some options we'll be exploring in this playthrough. But yeah, after this we'll be able to get recognized, hopefully, by a few of the reigning powers. And there goes the Winter War. Alright, we got our new guns. And Churchill wants to give another speech. Let's get the support weapons too. And get this is for our light aircraft designer. Let's pick up the max speed and agility. That's going to help. Make sure we upgrade that right away. And the guns. Lots of traits. You can actually queue these up, by the way. So we'll explore this here. So you can shift click and you have this trait queue. They added this in an update after the DLC. And then let's say we want the reliability on this and then this. And then we could pick up maybe, I don't know, the soft attack and breakthrough after that. So then it'll take this one, go here, and then take these. And I won't have to come back in here for this trait menu on that specific MIO. Sometimes you might want to consider it, but other times you may just want to kind of queue it up like that if you know exactly what you're going to do. I did want to check these, and yeah, it's time to start getting the new naval techs. And we're going to get the battleship 1940 tech first and foremost. Look at that beautiful ship. We definitely want to build that. Yet again, another trait for Fiat. We could go and queue up this one as well. Let's get the breakthrough. And then we're probably going to want the product efficiency gain. Actually, I think we need both. So we'll get that one and that one. Max speed and then down here. And that'll basically complete this whole tree for us without having to check back on that, which is a nice quality of life. This is Fiat, but it's the range focus aircraft designer. Let's get the agility for this one. We're not sure what we want for that yet. We may want to wait for later designs. We're still stealing those industrial blueprints. I thought we had one here. Okay, yeah, they're doing the current operation in Germany. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. Yeah, getting really close here. Let's check our autonomy here as well. See how we're doing. And still a ways to go, but now tension is high enough that we could start sending convoys. We don't have quite enough to really do it, and no reason to really do it just yet, but let's keep lowering their autonomy by building there. Building our own territory as well. And let's see, we did build that airbase. Let's get some radar here, guys, as well. And this will give us coverage of the Mediterranean. And once we get the Balearics, that's going to give us almost full radar coverage if we keep the Dodecanese as well as these islands. I also want to check the supply here. I think we could support maybe 6 troops here. It just depends. We're going to want to think about setting up our front lines, likely in the next episode, because we are now officially the Italian Empire. Let's just take a look at this and appreciate this, guys. Wow, that is a beautiful color. Absolutely beautiful, and we are going to look even better once we annex Yugoslavia. That's really going to clean up our borders, get Greece, and a lot of these little areas like Savoy, Corsica, and Tunis. Yeah, it's going to be really great, guys. So we can start our next focus, which is going to be Italian irredentism. But we're going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Again, if you like my content, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.